Welcome back, everybody. I hope you had a great holiday season, and hopefully all those pesky relatives that have been hanging around your house eating all the closet snacks have finally moved on and gone home. But now that brings us into the deep dive of winter, and that brings winter storms. And today that's what we're going to talk about, winter storms and boating. But before we get started, we gave one away on Wednesday. We're going to do it again today. Very simple. If you'd like to win one of these Drain Plug Mafia tumblers, all you have to do is hit the like button, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and at the end of the video, leave a comment below, and we'll pick our favorite comment, and somebody's going to win a tumbler. But if you don't like leaving things up to chance, hang out to the end of the video, as there's a secondary opportunity for you to pick one of these up. But let's get this episode started, and we'll see what the winter storms did this week.
Hey Broncos Guru, look what I got for you this week. A boathouse.
Oh my God.
Okay, well, snow's off the roof. Holy sh**.
Couldn't get the boats out in time. That's my fault. Should have taken that curtain out.
This was the scene up in British Columbia this past week as winter storms came rolling through, bringing a ton of snow, wreaking all kinds of havoc, as can be seen right here. Here, their boathouse just had so much snow on it, it actually collapsed the boathouse, causing the carnage that we see here. But to top it all off, once that snow melts, there's more water.
We are all underwater. Completely.
Here, the boys from Coldwater Salvage were able to get the boathouse out of the water, but obviously it's going to need some repairs. But this wasn't the only location experiencing winter storms.
Boat's almost underwater now. Ain't a I can do. The motor's not underwater, but everything else is.
Now, of course, our first two contestants who tried to play that game, let's extend our boat season, it appears they probably lost, but others found it was difficult as well as they tried to extend the season, but the storms that came through over the last couple weeks caught them off guard. Now, many were not as unfortunate as the first two, but what they found was they probably should have pulled the boat a little sooner than they thought. We got lots of images sent to us this week just like this, where people were trying to move those boats, but the ice had already set in and they were having a pretty difficult go of it. Now, of course, much of this can be avoided, obviously, by following your own good judgment. When it starts to get cold, if you're in those northern climates, it's probably time to go ahead and pull that boat out, but I don't blame you, boys. I know that feeling of wanting to extend that season just a few more days. You think you've got a few extra trips in you. Now, don't get me wrong, them boys up north aren't the only ones who experience that winter weather. Down south, we get our fair share of winter storms as well, but it's a little different situation. One, we don't typically pull our boat out because the season never really ends, but during the winter we do have to use extra precaution, make sure the boat's tied up a little tighter than normal, and be ready for those storms that can just pop up. Other than that, you might find yourself in a rough spot where you're out there having to do a little extra legwork. In fact, it's rumored this guy's still down there holding his boat. Now, the only thing worse than not getting the boat out of the water before a storm is being forced to be out there on the water in the storm. That's right, them commercial boys don't have a choice. I have to imagine this is one of the worst times of year to be a commercial mariner. I mean, the weather just sucks. It's cold, the seas are typically more angry than usual, and it just doesn't look like a whole lot of fun. Now, I'm sure there's some of those adventure bros out there who really enjoy this time of year and taking that pounding, but it's just not something that I would be into. I'm guessing the only time of year that might be worse than the winter for these guys is probably during hurricane season, but at least then, it's not real cold outside. You just have to deal with the rocky seas. And apparently it's not just the boats that have trouble in the winter storms. I mean, heck, here we've got the winter storm wobble by the cars as the cars are having to deal with it as well. And even in South Florida this past week, we saw our fair share of struggles as ice, even snow was reported in certain areas of Miami, catching many South Floridians off guard, and many people didn't have their boats ready for cold weather. Kind of like this crew here over at Lake Boca, who after the winter weather passed through, found their boat, well, sitting on the bottom of Lake Boca. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Boneheaded Boaters of the Week. If you ever see anything crazy happening out on your waterways, be sure to hit us up on Facebook or Instagram and let us know, and you might see your stories over here. But speaking of Facebook, earlier we mentioned an option to get your hands on a Drain Plug Mafia tumbler that didn't require the same amount of luck as trying to win it through our giveaway. That's right, over on our Facebook page, we have a Facebook shop. and we have listed some Drain Plug Mafia tumblers for sale. There are only 30 of them. That's it. We are only going to sell 30. It's a limited run. We really hope to do it before the holiday. Unfortunately, our shipment came in late, but now is your opportunity. If you want to grab that last second late Christmas gift for somebody, head over to Facebook, search Broncos Guru, go to the shop, and grab one of those tumblers. And as usual, thanks to Adam Coolidge, Benjamin Bake, Boating Hub, Doing Things, Dylan Toner 95, John, Mark LMO, and Thea Gorlick for sending in content this week. And if you haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button here.